Hi everyone, welcome back to part 5 of my N-gauge shunting layout in a wine box. And as you can see, I've now put some colour on this. This is the point in a layout I think you can kind of start to see it all coming together. So as I suggested in the last episode, I primed everything in black. Didn't think there was any point in me photographing that because everybody knows what black paint looks like. I also have painted the back of the box. Now I don't know how this is going to come out on camera, but it looks kind of beige. Now I'm approaching 60, so I've learnt to embrace beige, but maybe not on a model railway layout. So I think I might readdress that, change the colour of that a bit. I've also picked out the inside of the building in a dark colour because I don't really want any features to be visible inside because it's such low relief. I tried to get some shadowing effect by spraying in that direction with my airbrush with this NATO brown Tamiya colour, which I've used for the brickwork. I wanted it that kind of brown rather than a very terracotta, because these are going to be sort of like engineering brick colours. Not as much shadowing as I'd like to have achieved, but to get the colour saturation I wanted, I maybe had to go a bit thicker than I wanted. So I should probably do some panel washes around the sills and the brickwork just to enhance their three-dimensional depth, and then I'll probably do some dry brushing once again to bring out the raised sections. So I think the next step is going to be to have another look at this, and also finish off all the brickwork, and then I'm going to turn my attention to wiring up the lighting, I think. Okay, so I've finished dry brushing and oil washing the brickwork. So quite simply, that was artist oil paints with an odourless thinner, just to do a panel wash around some of the sorry, that's my compressor, let's turn that off, round some of the reveals, just to give some shadowing effects and darken up the mortar as well between the bricks. And then I've dry brushed various different colours. So for dry brushing, for those that aren't into it, so I've just got essentially an old tile with some various different oil paints on there. So literally you take an old brush like this one's well worn now, and that's what I use for dry brushing. It's got a slight bevel on it, and literally you just get rid of as much paint as you can on a piece of kitchen towel, and then literally you're brushing it over the surface of the bricks and other things, so it just picks up the raised areas. But it's a very effective way of sort of modulating a colour, because otherwise it looks very boring as a block colour. And I wanted this to look very industrial, very grimy. So yeah, I'm pleased with how that's come out. So I've also given that a coat of flat clear varnish as well, just to lock all that lot in, so I can handle it, because the next thing will be to stick the windows in. And then after I've done that, I've really got to have a look at this wiring. So I think probably windows in next. There we go then, windows in. And I've also brushed some damp along the bottom there, which will probably be largely covered by a bit of greenery, but I thought, well, I'll add it anyway, just for effect. And as you can see, I've added the lights, which obviously entail me doing the wiring. Good God, what a pain in the backside this was. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 small LEDs lighting up all of these windows. I've got the 3 lights outside, which I've just shown you, plus I've got the 2 up there which poke through the top, which will illuminate the little bit of brickwork that I will put the signage on. And I've got these 2 wires here wired into that light there. Now I was going to use a little flickering LED, However, it would appear that when I put that into the power source, the circuitry in it makes all the lights flicker. So I'm going to have a fiddle around with that. I can't really run a separate power supply to that. I don't really want to. So I may leave that out, but I'm going to do a little bit more experimenting with that. So the next, unfortunately, two of my drain pipes fell off. So I've got to sort out my drain, put them back on. And I think once I've done that, I will need to put the railings on here. And then we'll see what it looks like. Right, so railings on, painted some rust, just picked out a little bit of wear on the light fittings and the railings. This is now stuck back into place, so there's no going back now. I managed to trap all the wires behind there correctly so you can't see them after a lot of swearing. Some of the words I didn't even know I knew. Anyway, that's done. Very pleased with how this looks. I wanted to give it this sort of grimy, industrial kind of feel to this tiny layout. Which brings me nicely to sort of rounding up this episode and a little anecdote. My background in modelling is really scale models, and my dear old late father got me into railways by announcing one day that he wanted me to build him a railway, which I knew nothing about. So for those of you in the UK, you'll have heard of Gauge Master, which is a very good model railway shop, which is literally right on my doorstep. So he dragged me into there, and we went up to the counter, spoke to one of the very helpful chaps there, and my dad said, well, I want to get started with this model railway. So the chap behind the counter said, well, what era do you want to build? So at this point, I'm going to apologise to my younger viewers, but my dad blurted out the shitty era, at which point the guy behind the counter started to laugh. And he said, well, when did that begin? And I chimed in at that point, and more to the point, when's it ever going to end? So much like this episode, I'm going to end that there. Thanks for joining me on this one. I hope to see you in part 6, where I've got to start thinking about what I'm going to do with this foreground. So a little bit of greenery, some weeds. I need to sort something out here. I need to hide this little switch that moves backwards and forwards when the remote turnouts are operated. I might put some railings along here as if it was a road running adjacent to here. Anyway, we'll see what we do in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everyone. Remember, please like, subscription's always welcome, and I'll look forward to seeing you for the next part. So cheers, everyone. Bye for now. Bye.